Next morning, Taehyung and Yusum, it was a beautiful morning. The sun was peeking through the half-blue curtain of window, and in the room, you woke up just a couple of minutes back. See it, and a pleasant smell appeared on your lips. You were sitting with the support of breakfast, wrapping the white stand sheet around your closet, turning your gaze away from the window. You looked at your husband, who was sleeping peacefully, and circled his arm around your waist and hugging you close, nuzzling into you. You lifted your hand to touch his face slowly and caressed you. Thoughts roamed around whatever happened in your life till now. Some beautiful moments flashes in your mind, along with the last night moments, making you feel shy, happy. Your finger entangled with his soft hair, and then caressed his face. As soon as your hand touched near his lips, you felt him kissing you. Bam, so he said, "You okay to open your eyes, Mr. Kim? It is already morning now. Taehyung, have some mercy on me, Mrs. Kim. My eyes feel so heavy. I just slept a couple of hours back, and it is all because of you." With the closed eyes, you raised your eyebrows with amazed like, you are so innocent, right? Mocking him. Taehyung, yes, I am any doubt, teasingly with the closed eyes. Yeah, why not? Exactly opposite, narrowing your eyes at him, leading him to check it. He opened his eyes and pulled you over himself and wrapped his arms around you. Taehyung, I guess that's not such a bad thing, Mrs. Kim raised his eyebrows. I never said that. With a blushing smile, he looked at your blushing face and felt immense happiness. Taehyung, gosh, how much I waited for this morning. You smiled, hearing him. You rubbed your nose against his and said, me too. They were smiling and looked at each other. When you think something, Taehyung, I was thinking, started when Taehyung interrupted you. Taehyung, thinking about another round, completed you with a fake surprise tone. Your eyes suddenly got wide open and you immediately smacked on his chest. You shut up, shameless man, shouted. Taehyung chuckled. Taehyung, okay, sis. You shook your head unbelievably and then composed yourself to say, I wanted to get married to you. Completed the sentence and looked at him eagerly to know his reaction. Taehyung raised his eyebrows with a sudden demand from his wife. He was amused. Taehyung, I know we are married, but it was situation and also just with paper and pen. I want to get married to you with all rituals in presence of our loved ones, mom, dad, and their blessings. I know my dad never cared about my happiness. I know I also don't want to give damn about it, but I want to start it fresh with you. Well, we are already did, but I want not too big or lavish, but yeah, a perfect marriage with our family and friends. Not like the stunt you pulled last time by blasting a bomb suddenly that I am married to you. Actually, more than shock, I was disappointed that I am unaware about my own wedding thanks to Han and you. Taehyung was listening you, but didn't say anything, not getting any response. You shook him. Hello, Mr. Husband, are you going to marry me again or not? With attitude, Taehyung up your face, pushing your hairstands behind your ear and said, Taehyung, your wish is my command, your highness. Can I dare to deny something what my queen has demanded? You got so happy hearing him, you hugged him, he also hugged you back, happily rolling above you and taking you beneath one second and placed his lips on yours. Living room. Later that day, the very next thing Taehyung did was telling about marriage to Mr. Kim. Mr. Kim and Mrs. Kim both were so happy, they blessed them. Mrs. Kim hugged you happily. She wanted to hug Taehyung too, but some differences need time to sort of. You noticed it, but you had to throw your eyes to Mrs. Kim that it will be fine soon. Everything will be fine, mom. Trust me. Slowly looking at Mrs. Kim, who was looking at Taehyung, and he was talking to Mr. Kim. Mr. Kim looked at you and cleared your face and nodded. Mrs. Kim, I know after all you are here, and for now I just want both of your happiness. He is happy in this life. You have accepted him. Nothing is more important than his happiness. Smilingly. They were talking about it when Mola, who just came out of her room, also heard it. For a moment she got confused, thinking whose marriage they were talking about, but then she got so happy when she came to know that Taehyung and you were getting married with all rituals. Both looked so happy. Mola beamed with joy and happy smile appeared on her lips. She looked at Taehyung, who was busy in talking about something related to marriage preparation stuff or something late. Mola, Appa, and you are getting married. Oh my god, you has forgiven him. Wow, I am so happy. Unknowingly, she took a couple of steps happily to run to her brother and you to hug them and congratulate them. When suddenly her steps and as the reality hit her, her smile faded away. She let out a sad laugh and her eyes got wet. How much she wanted to be there, but she can't. She lost them. She lost her family, thinking this. She stumbled back. They are happy without her, and her presence will make them sad. Looking at them with a sad smile, she took back steps and turned around to go back to her room, her small world, unaware of the fact that someone has seen her, and the person was none other than you. You sighed, thinking something when Taehyung raised his eye to wait. You were asking what? You shook your head, nothing, with a fake smile. Sometime Taehyung and you from Taehyung. Now care to tell me what disturbing you as they came inside the room. Taehyung, it is nothing. I averted your eyes, but Taehyung hold your both hand in his. Taehyung, look at me and tell me what is bothering you. You looked up, you try to hide, but you know you can't. You took a deep breath. It is about Mola and mom. See him. No, please don't get me wrong. First, listen to me. I mean, I can understand about Mola, whatever she did and whatever you had to do because of her. I understand your behavior towards her, but I think she is changing. Otherwise, she wouldn't have told everything to me. It is not only that I noticed the difference the Mola I knew 3 years back and Mola I see now. Taehyung, you were saying to forget everything and forgive her. Really, you unbelievably. No, definitely not. I didn't even know that I have forgiven her fully or not. Then it is definitely not me to tell you to forgive her. It is up to you because you also went through so much. I understand you, Taehyung, and I am not forcing you for anything, but just don't behave like she doesn't exist. I could see how much she feels hurt. Taehyung, she had chosen her stubbornness in the place of her brother. Then be it, she got it, and I am away from her. And please, today is the day of happiness for me, and I don't want to spoil it thinking all that seriously. You sign understanding him. Okay, as you say, it is up to you. But Taehyung, what about mom? Can't you forgive her? Taehyung, she was unaware of the reality and she had chosen to save her daughter's life. Taehyung, then what about her son? Why didn't she think about me? Yes, that was her mistakes, but you didn't tell her everything. Did she know that Mola was forcing you to do no Taehyung? If she would have been aware of it, and then she would have chosen Mola, then she would have been equally wrong, but she was not known to it fully strict. She is rejected in Taehyung. He loves you. If a child does wrong, then parents forgive them. This time she unknowingly did wrong, then can't you forgive her? We are getting married and mom is more than happy. Don't they have right to be happy in your happiness? This will double our happiness. Please, Taehyung. Taehyung, you want me to forgive mom looking at you? I want you to do what you want. I am not forcing you, but I know you are also not happy with the fact you tried to stop yourself remaining whatever happened in past. But Taehyung, until you won't try, you won't get over it. Taehyung was hating you, and this time he didn't say anything while you was waiting for him to say something. You what say something impatient, he signed and pulled you into hug. You got amazed as in your hair and whispered to Taehyung, I love you. You closing his eyes, you smiled, hearing him and hugging back as closing your eyes. Living room later, the marriage date was fixed. After a week, Mrs. Kim took the sweet and made you eat happily. Taehyung, that is not fair, mom. You are only making you to eat sweets. You forgot about me in dramatic tone. Mr. Kim was surprised and so was Mrs. Kim. You were smiling at him. Mrs. Kim eyes filled with tears. Taehyung said he could her understanding her condition. Taehyung, mom, he says as his voice turned heavily, hold her shoulder. Mrs. Kim looked at him, then Taehyung just hugged her. Taehyung, I want my mom back. Slowly, Mrs. Kim started crying, hearing him, and she started apologize to him for everything happened in past. Mrs. Kim, I'm sorry, Taehyung. I couldn't understand. I couldn't be a good mother to you. I just thought about Mola and forgot about you. I didn't know what that was saying, but Taehyung interrupted. He understood she was already feeling it, and you had already did him. What was Mrs. Kim's condition when she came to know the truth about Mola? Taehyung, it's okay, mom. Please don't cry. I'm sorry too. I never told you all truth, and I'm sorry for being rude with you all the way. Whatever happens, you are my mom, and I should have tried to correct the things and tell you everything, but I didn't, and I just chose to live. I'm sorry too. Taehyung trying to calm her. Mrs. Kim, I'm sorry, Taehyung, and you had to face so much because of me too. I was saying when Mr. Kim said, trying to cheer up the mood. Mr. Kim, it's okay. I forgive you both. Now stop saying sorry. Our Taehyung and you both. Marriage is fixed, and you are making gloomy face on such wonderful day. Come on, we should be happy, not crying, right? You dear, you tried that. Smilingly, Taehyung also smiled. He broke the hug and wiped Mrs. Kim tears. Mrs. Kim also smiled. Taehyung and mom, dad about Mola, whatever happened, she's family and she can be part of this happiness only if she wants. Mr. Kim, we understand. Taehyung, Mr. Kim and Mrs. Kim nodded with a small smile. Dad, Jungkook and Han also came with Jimin. They were so happy for you and Taehyung. Where one side everyone seemed happy and excited for the marriage, then the other side Jimin was seen restless for Mola, who was nowhere seen as so he had already called her enough times in history, but she was not taking his calls. Basically, she was ignoring him and he hates. He was elaborate for her, but she was busy in evading him. He was thinking all this when he finally get a glimpse of her. Mola opened the door and came out. Since morning, she kept herself busy in some office culture program work in her laptop just to distract herself, and finally she came out. Her water bottle was empty. She thought to get water for herself, not asking the servants as they must be busy in their works. But as soon as she came in quarters, she heard so many voices of laughing and talking. She looked in hall only to find Jungkook and Han were there. They were talking happily with Mr. Kim and Mrs. Kim. You and Taehyung. She already came to know that the marriage is fixed. After a week, she was happy for them. Not to get water and go back to her room again, but then only in between everyone her eyes met. He was already looking at her with serious expression on his face. Suddenly, she felt nervous. He tapped on his phone with his finger, indirectly giving her message what he wants to say. And it is not that Mola couldn't understand it, but Mola immediately blinked and diverted her gaze away from him. She just turned around on her feet and rushed back to her room, shutting the door behind her. Jimin says this, and he got confused but was really irritated with this behavior of her. He clenched his phone. He wanted to rush to her room directly and comfort her, but it wouldn't look good as everyone was there in hall only. But his restlessness was not gone unnoticed by someone who had seen everything and think something. Time skips a week later, days passed in blink, and finally the most awaited day was here, the marriage of Taehyung and US. Today they are going to tie in the relationship ritually too. Mola was becoming a part of all this, but she maintained distance from everyone. You was happy with Mola's presence. Actually, Mola felt Taehyung wouldn't like her presence, so she stayed away from all marriage preparations or function. But Mr. Kim told her that Taehyung is not having any problem with it, and it would be look good if being sister, she won't be present in Taehyung wedding and function. All this Mola was feeling a bit light when you and Han talked to her. Although she didn't talk much, but it was enough that someone artistically talked to her. She was genuinely very happy for you and her brother, and it could be seen in her eyes. But in all this, someone is dying to talk to her, whom she was awaiting with her every bit. Yes, it was Jimin. He was getting pissed off with her ignorance, and the worst part was he didn't even know the reason why she was doing this. Somewhere it was making him feel a bit light to see her smiling sometime during functions, but he could easily see the shadow of sadness behind that smile. This Stalin was invited for all the functions and wedding, but he didn't care to come. He was a bit hurt, but Han was also there to lie to him. But she told you that they never needed their so-called family who never cared about them, and Mr. Kim also came and said he is there for you as your father. You hugged him emotionally. The Kim mansion was beautifully decorated, and Mrs. Kim was busy in arranging things. Then she says Taehyung, who was talking to someone on phone. Mrs. Kim scolded him to go and get ready fast. He left to his room. Mrs. Kim, oh, Taehyung wedding dress is here only, and he went to get ready. My son always be an idiot. Jungkook mom, who smiled. Mola, who was passing by the room, heard Mrs. Kim. Then only a servant came to tell Mrs. Kim that priest was calling for something. Mrs. Kim said, okay. She took Taehyung's dress back. Mola, mom, if you don't mind, I will give it to Appa. You can go to priest politely with small smile. Mrs. Kim looked at her for a couple of seconds, then she nodded. Mrs. Kim, okay, give it to him and tell him to get ready first. Please, may call him anytime soon. Normally, Mola nodded, take the bag from her. She was about to go, but Mrs. Kim called her. Mrs. Kim, Mola, wait. Mola immediately turned around. Mola is mommy eagerly waiting to hear her. Mrs. Kim, you also get ready soon. Mola, okay, mom. Mola nodded with a smile and went from there. Taehyung and you from Jimin, will you get ready or you want another good scolding from Auntie Checkle saying this? Jungkook, yeah, I guess he need another one. Taehyung, shut up, I forgot to bring my wedding dress. It must be with mom only. Jungkook, okay, you will wait, I will get that. Then only they hear the knock. Jungkook opens the door only to find Mola. Jungkook, Mola, which caught Jimin's attention. He immediately looked at the door to find her. She sees him, but the next second she looked down, averting her eyes from him. Taehyung also see her, but he didn't say anything. Mola, Appa, you forgot your glass that you are going to wear. Mom told me to give it to you towards the back and tried to keep her tone normal, but she was definitely failing. She definitely didn't want any shouting from him right now, at least not today. The most important day of his life. Jungkook looked at her, then he took the shopping bag from her. Jungkook, yeah, I was just coming to get it from auntie. It is good you want to bring it normally. Mola, she said to get ready fast. Please make all anytime soon. Added Taehyung, yeah, okay, thanks, not rudely. Mola nodded with smile and she turned around to go from there. As she went, Jungkook shut the door. Jimin had already noticed all the Jimin. What now? Go and get ready fast. Jungkook, yeah, Taehyung nodded. He took his clothes and went to get ready. After some time, guest room sitting in front of dressing table, you were studying in beautiful dress, your face was glowing, your eyes hold immense happiness, and a blush was enhancing your beauty. Han was teasing you in between the deputations. I already left as most of the things were done. Mola was there in the room only. She had helped you in getting ready. She looked at Han and you smilingly when thinking something. Her eyes started wetting and she blinks. And asked Mola for a veil that was kept beside her. Mola nodded, she rolled it and they covered your head with it. Mola, now you are looking perfect and beautiful. You, I am sure Papa is gonna have tough time to handle himself. All of the sudden with teasing smile, Han and you both were surprised hearing her. Then only Mola realized what she just blunt out. Mola, I am sorry, I just don't know how it come out. Stumbled with fake and nervous smile. Mola, I should go and see the guest and was about to move when you hold her hand. Mola looked at their hands and then she looked at you who smiled at her. You don't need to be sorry. In fact, I should say thank you. After such a long period of time, I heard my old friend was just the way she used to talk freely and carelessly. At least I considered her my friend, and you are also looking beautiful with smile. Mola felt soon as she was able to say something when Mrs. Kim came there. Mrs. Kim, you it is time. Come fast with smile. All yes, mom, auntie said together. Mrs. Kim nodded and went from there. Han, come you, let's go. You nodded. Downstairs, Taehyung was standing with Jungkook and Jimin while all the guests were in there in hall. Mrs. Kim were also there. Jungkook mom to Mrs. Kim, where is you, Jimin? Yes, auntie, did you finally decide that she is not gonna marry this stuff? Is it Taehyung? All laughed hearing him while Taehyung rolled his eyes. Taehyung, don't worry, Jimin. Your number is also going to come sooner or later. Giving him see you later look. Jimin, here my love story is getting into danger and he is talking about teasing me. One side his sister is separating me like a Blake and the brother is talking about teasing me on my marriage. Wow, God, you want to do something, muttered to himself, looking up for God to do some miracle in his life. Jungkook, did you say something? Raising his eyebrows. Jimin, yeah, I said God bless me. That day comes sooner when you both also get some pleasure to taste me on my wedding. Till then, I will enjoy my bachelorhood with smile and wink. He took a soft drink glass from waiter as he passed by with a tray. He did a chased at them, taking a sip. Jungkook and Taehyung shook their head unbelievably at him with chicken. Then only they hear Mrs. Kim. Mrs. Kim, there she is coming, my daughter. You smilingly. They looked towards the stairs only to find you was descending stairs with Mr. Kim, who was taking you down towards a cell with the Han and a girl beside her. Jungkook smiled at Han, who was looking beautiful in pitch dress, while Taehyung was focused on you. His face was hidden behind the veil, but you see him, he smiled at you. Jimin was looking at towards them with a smile as you moved. The face of the girl behind you was revealed, who was none other than Mola. She was looking so pretty in her white and golden combination, a dress with matching earrings. Her face was left open on one side of her shoulder. Jimin was having a ring, but he coughed suddenly. She lifted her eyes and those black obscenities. Jimin, Mr. Jimin is blown away, muttered himself. Jungkook, okay, what happened to you? Suddenly looking at him, Jimin nodded, immediately composed himself. Mola was looking away. Main moral of my story: never fall in love with a girl with two possessive brothers, and definitely not with her brothers or your best friend, because the worst part is you can't share your feelings with your best friend too. The chance of getting hanged up and down, getting punches and kicks is 99%. Still, I have already dared to do it. I can't back off now, so I should better concentrate on making her agree.